Well, Tina, you're looking very Christmassy.
Thanks, Norm. Oh, and it is so nice and cuddly and warm.
We should tell you that Tina got a part-time job as a lumberjack.
Hey, that sounds like really hard work, Norm.
Want to talk about the hidden dangers of retirement?
Ooh. And there are them, aren't there, Norm?
There are lots of them. So we're going to address 6 different issues of the hidden dangers of retirement. But before we get that, if you're a new subscriber to us, thank you so much for subscribing and welcome back to our channel. So what do we have for number 1, Teen?
That has to be when you just retired, stop and take a deep breath.
Don't rush out and buy a major purchase just because you're no longer working. You maybe got access to your saved capital. Just take a deep breath and wait and see if buying this new beach house or this new Lexus or, dare we say, Jaguar, is not the thing to do. Not in the first months of retirement. You need to get into a rhythm and see that you're covering your expenses well.
And I guess too, Norm, that, the feeling is almost similar to, we imagine if you were winning the lottery or something, suddenly you've got all this newfound money and you haven't really learnt how to handle it.
No.
So don't go blow it all at once.
Yeah, it's not spend, spend, spend.
No.
We're just saying maybe put the brakes on and acclimatize to retirement first and see how you do with what you have before you rush out and make any huge purchase that could damage your future retirement. Talking about that, extensive travel as well. We have come up against this where we were doing lots of cruises and we were bargain shopping for those, and we did lots of these sort of 5 days away that we would find on sites like Travel Zoo.
Yeah, they were great value, weren't they?
Budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, $5.99 to Edinburgh, $5.99 for a week in
Iceland.
Reykjavik.
Yeah. It was a great trip, wasn't it?
So then you get comfortable and you think, well, we've done MSC cruises, we've done Holland America, we've done Princess, and we've always chased the bargains on those. So let's do one of the small yachts. And so we did a Windstar.
We did, and it was just after COVID, wasn't it?
It was.
We were really just getting back into travel, and we thought, ooh, why don't we go for something different? We'll maybe go for a smaller ship, less people, and then it might be a better experience.
And keep us safe from getting COVID.
That's,
that we thought we would get on a big ship, maybe a small ship, we wouldn't get that.
But along with that came a cost, didn't it, Norm?
It did. A big cost.
A big cost. The actual cruise cost us 17,000 plus flights. So we probably spent around 20 to 21,000 for that trip.
And that's virtually our full year's budget that we initially budgeted on as traveling. And we enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did.
But we felt it was unsustainable for us because we're just getting rid of money too quickly.
Yeah, we looked at each other after we came back and we said, wow, that was a great experience, great memories. But if we do this 4 or 5 times a year, this is going to cost us 100,000 a year in extensive travel. So a very important one, that don't let travel run away with you.
Yeah.
And it can very easily happen, can't it?
It's just like expensive cars. You might see some trips, and don't be afraid to say that's too expensive.
Yeah.
So we certainly are not pursuing that small luxury yacht just yet.
No.
Maybe in our late 70s, when we can see the end of travel, maybe we will do that.
Yeah.
Another big one, Tina, helping adult children. Are we against that?
This is a very unusual topic, Norm.
It is.
We are not against helping. There are lots of reasons that you might need to help your adult children. They might have circumstances where they get divorced, or whether they have some unusual bills out of the normal that you feel, yes, it's okay to help them. That's not really the bit that we're talking about.
No. No, this is where you're subsidizing your adult children to live their lives because they're living a life they can't afford. They've either bought a house, too much house, and they want you to bail them out on a monthly basis. And that's just ridiculous. No, we won't do that. But if there's a crisis and our adult children need, a few thousand or something like that, then of course we would help them out. We're not soulless in that regard.
No.
But we are not going to subsidize the lives of our children. I think that's a big thing to get into.
And actually, we just read an article where a couple went to their financial advisor, and their daughter was getting married, and they needed help from the parents. And they worked out that for them to give her this help was going to cost them $2,000 a month over and above their normal budget on a regular basis. And the financial advisor told them, you can't do this. You just don't have that in your budget to be able to do this.
So don't help your adult children at the expense of damaging your retirement. You need the money you've saved for your retirement. And if you wish to give a little bit away, just like charitable giving as well, there's nothing wrong with it. But just don't deplete your capital subsidizing your adult children. Passwords, Tina. I'm getting to the stage where I can't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Oh, well then, Norm, it's a good job that I did persuade you, and we have written them down since the last time we spoke about this, didn't we?
We have, and we have them in multiple places, and we have them available for our estate.
Executor
can access all our passwords, and we have a lot of them because of the various enterprises that we have. So think about how you're going to manage your passwords, how when you finally pass away, how the people left behind will access sensitive information or bank accounts with your passwords. Will you make that available to them?
And I think another important thing too, Norm, is that more and more we're hearing about adults who, as they get older, are getting dementia and Alzheimer's and similar related diseases where it affects your memory. And, most people don't really think about this, but, you all know what your passwords are now to the regular things that you do. But if it got to the stage where on a daily basis you yourself can't remember, so we think that a possible illness, especially in its early days, is even another really important reason why passwords are so important. And you know what? It can be on a piece of paper, it can be a digital wallet, it can be something on your computer. But just take a little bit of time to do it. We actually did a video about this, didn't we, about a year ago? And after that, Norm and I had a big discussion, and we did it, and now we've done it, and I feel a lot happier.
The other thing with passwords, which we often forget, is to change them. There's two strategies. You do not want to have the same passwords for multiple sites, because if one site gets hacked, they'll use that password for all the other sites they can find from you. Passwords, very important. So keep an eye on those and maybe explore digital wallets and things like that. Just Google that.
Something that's really important, Norm, and is again one of those big dangers in retirement, don't become a recluse.
I love that. I love staying in the apartment. Who wants to go outside?
Norm can be really bad sometimes. He's like, oh no, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm quite happy just being here. And you know what? But then when we get ready and get dressed and go out, he loves it. We're just joking here. It can become something quite dangerous if you're not careful of it.
Don't become one of those couch potatoes watching daytime soaps and being distracted by your iPad all day. Remember to get out and more importantly, get out and socialize. We just talked about that in our last video. Maybe set up with old work colleagues or family or distant relatives to go and have a coffee, go and have lunch.
Yeah.
Put on the calendar maybe once a month to have lunch with your family.
Yeah.
It's so important to get out of your house, especially if you're in a single family home where maybe nobody knocks on the door for weeks on end. So you have to be proactive and make sure that you're keeping in touch with family and friends and that you go out. Go for a walk, go to McDonald's and buy a coffee.
Yeah, and we've done that a few times, haven't we? And it's great. And we're quite fortunate because, as you know, we live in an apartment. So even just getting in the elevator, nearly always we will bump into somebody that we can say hello, we can discuss the weather, how hot or cold it is, what everybody's doing. And you know what? Even if you see nobody else that day, you've had some social contact. Very much. It is really nice, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Write a will. Have you?
I tell you what, Norm, if you look at statistics, 50% of Canadians haven't, 58% of people in the UK haven't, and a staggering 68% in the US have not made a will.
And what happens to those people's money, Dean, should they pass away without a will?
Goes to the government, Norm.
So you're giving the government free money?
Don't let them take it. So
Goodness
make
me.
the effort to make a will.
So just for the price of a lawyer, maybe $300-400, go get a will and have it professionally done so it's done properly. Yeah. And make sure your wishes are being written in the will. So after you pass away, everything happens as you anticipate it to. Or if you don't have the money for a will, but you have a couple of friends, write in your own handwriting on plain paper a will expressing what you want to happen to your estate once you pass away. Make it clear and then get 2 friends to witness you signing the will. And that is legal in most countries, such as the UK, Canada, and the US.
And I think that's wonderful, you know, because a lot of people might not have that 2 to 400. So get a piece of paper, write it all down, and get 2 witnesses, as Norm said.
And we know it works because Tina's parents did that.
They did. They both did that, and it was perfectly legal, and it's done more and more times than you can think of.
So I hope everybody's keeping well.
And staying safe.
And until the next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.